Alright, good day everyone. So this report will discuss the birth of Filipino nationalism and struggles of our ancestors against foreign colonizers, and it will highlight important revolts, of course, the movements and leaders who shaped the Philippines' journey towards independence. So this will be the report of day 2 of history. So the first one is the birth of Filipino nationalism. So in early resistance to Spanish rule, so the revolt and the immediate cause. So the first one is the Lacandula and Sulaiman. So in Lacandula and Sulaiman, the Visaris disregard the Legazpi's promise that Spain would recognize the patrilineal land of the kings of Tondo. So this revolt shows early resistance to Spanish authority. So by defending traditional land rights. So it reflects the local leaders' concern for their people's welfare. So the next one is Magalat's revolt. So Magalat's encouragement of the people of Cagayan to rebel against the Spanish government. So, kaning revolt was fueled by local dissatisfaction with Spanish control. So, si Magalat inspired his people to fight for their autonomy. Next one, si Somoroy's rebellion. So, in this, the government enforcement to the order to send people of Palapag, Samar to work in the shipyard of Cavite. So the rebellion highlights the resentment of forced labor imposed by the Spanish. So kani, it represents resistance to colonial exploitation. Next one, Maniago's revolt. So hatred of Bandala and resentment of their frequent recruitment of Pampanganos to cut timber for the construction of Spanish galleons. So this revolt was motivated by economic oppression and forced labor policies. So it emphasized the burden of colonial policies on ordinary Filipinos. Next, si Diego Silang's revolt. So Silang's resentment of his imprisonment due to his request for the abolition of the hated tribute in Vigan. So si Silang fought against unfair taxation and political imprisonment. So his revolt became a symbol of Ilocano resistance. Next, si Gabriela Silang's revolt. So assassination of her husband Diego Silang. So mo na yung wife si Gabriela Silang, the wife of Diego Silang. So Gabriela continued her husband's fight. So mahimo siyang after ani kay nahimo siyang Joan of Arc of Ilocandia. So Gabriela Silang, she symbolized women's role in resistance. Next, Palaris revolt. Hatred of the excessive tribute and abusive officials from Binalatungan, which inspired him to rally the people against Spain. So Palaris revolt was driven by injustice and harsh taxation. So it shows local leadership can mobilize the masses against oppression. So next one is Base revolt. So in this revolt reflects resistance to economic restriction and monopolies. So it emphasizes how colonial policies affected daily life. Next, si Tamblot's revolt or dead. So Tamblot's exhortation that people of Bohol return to their old faith. So in this revolt was religious in nature, so resisting Spanish imposed Christianity. So it highlights the importance of cultural and spiritual identity. Next, Bancaao's revolt. The Bancaao's revolt encouragement of the people of Limasawa to defend their traditional religion. So in these revolts, Bancao resisted the loss of indigenous beliefs. So it shows that religion was a core part of local resistance. Next, Tapar's revolt. In Tapar's revolt kay the killing of followers of Tapar's religious cult by the friar of Oton Panay. So in this revolt was sparked by religious persecution. So it demonstrate local opposition to Spanish clerical abuses. The next revolt is Dagohoy's revolt. So in this revolt, uh, this became the longest revolt in the Philippine history. So lasting 85 years. So it represents enduring opposition to Spanish colonial and religious control. The last one is the revolt of Hermanopoli or Hermanopol. So persecution of the followers of the Confradia de San Jose, a religious organization founded by Apolinario de la Cruz. So this revolt was sparked by the restriction of religious freedom. So it emphasizes the connection between faith and the resistance. All right, so let's move on to the growth of Filipino nationalism. So nationalism, the aim of gaining and maintaining sovereignty or self-governance so over the homeland. So nationalism is the sense of pride and loyalty to one's country. So it inspired movements to resist foreign domination. Number one, spread of liberalism. So ideas about freedom that came from exposure to international commerce and European thought. So in liberalism encouraged political and social reform. So it introduced ideas of equality and self-rule to Filipinos. Next, racial prejudice. So the Spaniards commonly regarded Filipino natives as belonging to the inferior race and called them Indios. So discrimination fueled resentment among Filipinos. It contributed to the rise of nationalist sentiments. So next one, secularization controversy. So dispute over whether Filipino priests could hold parishes instead of Spanish friars. So it reflects Filipinos' desire for equality in the church. So kaning controversy highlighted racial and clerical discrimination. Next one, Cavite Mutiny of 1872. So a rebellion against Governor General Rafael Izquierdo, led by Sergeant Lamadrid. So the mutiny led to execution of the three priests known as kato sila si Gomez, Burgos ug Zamora or Gomborza. So it inspired the growth of reformist and nationalist movement. Next one, campaign for reform. So formation by the middle class of a propaganda movement calling for the assimilation of the Philippines to Spain. So this movement sought peaceful change through writing and advocacy. So it led the groundwork for the propaganda movement. Now let's move on to the propaganda movements assimilation, and peaceful means. Propaganda movement. So a peaceful campaign for reforms geared towards changing the political and social order under Spanish rule. So it focused on education, equality, and representation rather than armed struggle. So the movement influenced national consciousness and political awareness. Next, triumvirate of propaganda. So Jose Rizal, Graciano Lopez Gina, Marcelo H. Del Pilar, these three leaders guided the movement through writings and publications. So they became or they became symbols of reform and enlightenment for Filipinos. So aims of propaganda. Make the Philippines a province of Spain, so equality of Filipinos and Spaniards, and representation in the Spanish Cortes. So the movement sought legal and social reforms. So instead of revolution. Again, this movement sought legal and social reforms instead of revolution. It highlighted injustice like racial prejudice and lack of political rights. Now, let's move on to La Solidaridad. So, the organ of propaganda edited by Marcelo H. Del Pilar. So, this newspaper served as the main platform for reformist writing. So, it spread nationalist ideas and educated Filipinos and abroad. Now, Diaryong Tagalog. Nationalistic newspaper edited by Marcelo H. Del Pilar. So it was used to reach the local population in the Filipino language. So kaning nga newspaper promoted awareness of injustice and reforms. Now let's move on to the colonial period propagandist. Graciano Lopez Gina, a publisher of La Solidaridad, pen names Fray Butod and Diego Laura. So he used humor and satire of criticize Spanish abuses. So his writings inspired reformists through among Filipinos. Next, si Marcelo H. Del Pilar, editor and co-publisher of La Solidaridad, pen names Aridel, Dolores Manapat, Piping Dilat, and Pudo. So he led campaigns for reforms through journalism. So his work highlighted the social, political, and religious injustice of Spanish rule. Next, si Antonio Luna. Antonio Luna expressed nationalist ideas and called for action through his writing. So later became a revolutionary general in the Philippine Revolution. Si Jose Maria Paniban. So, kani siya kay he contributed essays advocating reforms and education. So, ang iyahang mga works kay naka-help to awaken Filipino political consciousness. Next, si Jose Rizal. So, Rizal became the national naging hero siya for promoting reform through peaceful means. So, his novels and essays inspired the nationalist movement. Next one, Apolinario Mabini. So, he guided the revolutionary government intellectually. So, Mabini provided legal and political advice to the revolutionary leaders. So, Apolinario Mabini or Paralatico or Brain of Revolution. Ang Brain of Revolution man si Apolinario Mabini. Next one, si Andres Bonifacio or kani iyang pen names kay Agapito Bagumbayan. And he founded the Katipunan. Founded of Katipunan si Andres Bonifacio to fight for independence. So kani si Bonifacio emphasized armed struggle as a means of freedom. Next si Mariano Ponce, or pen names kay Tikbalang or Naning and Kalipulaco. So ayang mga gi-wrote nga articles for reforms and supported the propaganda movement. Kanipod si Ponce kay helped connect Filipino reformists abroad with those at home. Next si Juan Luna, Potasio Painter. Pen name niya Potasio Painter. So he expressed nationalism through art. So his works became symbol of Filipino pride and identity. Now, si Jose de la Cruz. So he sold poems to support himself and express nationalist ideas. So yung mga writings contributed to cultural awareness. Next, si Melchora Aquino or si Tandang Sora. She cared for Katipuneros and became known as the Mother of the Revolution. Okay, always remember, the Mother of Revolution, known as si Melchora Aquino. So her support symbolized civilian contribution to the struggle. Last one, si Emilio Jacinto. So he wrote the Kartilya ng Katipunan. So yung Kartilya ng Katipunan, si Emilio Jacinto, and a guide for members. So Jacinto became known as the brain of the Katipunan. Okay, the brain of Katipunan, lain si Emilio Jacinto. Okay, let's move on to the La Liga Filipina. So La Liga Filipina is social-civic society of Filipino patriots organized by Rizal. So it aimed to unite Filipinos for mutual protection, education, and reforms. So the society encouraged civic cooperation and the national solidarity. So aim of the organization, united of the archipelago, mutual protection, defense against violence, encouragement of instruction, agriculture, commerce, and study of reform. So, the Liga South, social progress and legal equality for Filipinos. So, it provided a platform for organized peaceful activism. Next one, execution methods. So these were Spanish colonial methods of punishment. So they instilled fear and attempted to suppress revolt. Okay, let's move on to the last one. The KKK. Kataas-taasang, kagalang-galangan, katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan. So KKK, secret society founded on July 7, 1892 by Andres Bonifacio. Again, the secret society founded on July 7, 1892 by Andres Bonifacio. So it aimed to achieve independence from Spain through armed struggle. So membership was highly secretive to protect members from Spanish authorities. Aims of KKK: political, economic, and civic revolution. So the society sought complete independence. So it also promote social and civic reforms among Filipinos. Now, the first officers. So these are the first officers. So these leaders organized the society and planned revolutionary activities. Next, important members. So these are the important members. So these individuals contributed intellect, strategy, and support to the revolution. So their roles were crucial in sustaining the movement. Okay. This is the last one, the Katipunan membership categories. So, Anak ng Bayan or first grade, Kawal second grade, and Bayani third grade. So, those are the day 2. Ito sila ang mga coverage sa day 2 of history. So, I hope you understand. Thank you and God bless.